All right, and we are live. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody feeling? A little different of a setup. Can I just get a check on how I sound? Everything okay? Everything okay, everybody? Can you hear everything? Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Can I get a comment? Yes, yes. Hello? Just different setup today. Can I get a comment? Yes, we hear you. Okay, great. All right, excellent. Thank you so much for that. That means the world. Okay, so what's going on with the day? Well, what did I just do? Well, I did have that position open, and it just got stopped out for 28 buck loss on Bitcoin up. You know, I don't want to ride things down too much. I can just figure out where to go, get back in. So I just pop a small loss on that, and there we go. Keeping the gains, keeping the gains. So to me, that's a win because, and I was up 65 or 70 bucks at one point, even more, I think. So pretty big dump completely happening now on Bitcoin. Let's look at it on the 1 minute. We're opening right now as the dump continues. You can say that's probably it for the dump here. Look how far we are from the 21. We usually don't get that far. So that's going to be good. Let's take a look at the daily because the daily was overbought. And it kind of still is, even with this dump, you can see. So it could have a lot more to go. This could be a 3-week pullback back to 12K possibly. You know, we'll see. But it's possible because look at the daily had so many days in the green. It was a matter of time that we had a natural pullback. No stocks go up like this. This was a parabolic rally, really, if you think about it. A lot of money there. So we just got to pull. Eventually, there is going to be a pullback. When I was calling for the up and downs, I'm just kind of thinking that we get some tight little pumps until, you know, I thought we might get a pump up. I don't even know about 17 if we would get that high, but I thought maybe we'd break just like 16.1 and then get rejected. Let's see what the 1 hour looks like. When in doubt, zoom out. The 1 hour is pretty healthy so far as long as we stay on this bottom of this trend line. We already broke it once and we came back up, right? So to me, we kind of got the inverted, sorry to make inverted head and shoulders here. Possibly making just another shoulder on our way up. So maybe this rounds up, plays around, and retest breaks up, something like this, you know? So we could still be bullish. And look at the price bouncing off 15K. I mean, we just bounced. Literally, we went as low as, let's see what happened here. And thank you for joining us right now to watch this happen live as we see this exactly. Bitcoin just, I think it went, by golly me oh my, did it touch 14.9? It did. Look at that, 14.934. Yeah, 14.950 it just hit. Bounced right off that with some heavy buy pressure back to 15,115. Very interesting. Will it hold this line? Pretty much in line with this. Now, other people were drawing these patterns here. I'm disagreeing with them. They're thinking it's in this like, and it's going to come all the way back down to 13,971. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Bit of a Bart Simpson pattern, right? So, but we also have to be open-minded for it. Also, we see now we have strong support at 14.3, and now we seem to have strong support here. At right here at 15,000, right? 14,900, 15,000. Coming back down, looks like to retest this area one more time. And it's interesting with the Dow pumping. So yeah, the title of the video, as you can see, is Dow pumps as Bitcoin tanks. And that's great to see a decoupling. Bitcoin's in its own way. Like if Bitcoin wants to come back down to 13.9, think about it. The Dow had some bad days while Bitcoin just was going up for the last, since November 7th, Since, let's go back, we've been pumping literally October 21st. You can see we're in this bull flag. So yeah, I mean, that's a nice 2 weeks of pumpage. And we were pumping even before that, even back to October 10th. So almost basically a month pump. You could say a month-long pump for Bitcoin. So nothing goes up forever. And if we looked at the daily, we kept saying it was overbought. And look how high that MACD was. The MACD has to roll. And it finally curved. I was saying it's going to curve eventually. And when it curves, that's it. Right? So I think, in my opinion, I think it would be a good short for Bitcoin at this point. It's all in your favor, you know. Again, they may be trying to catch the shorters right now. That was a short catch, right? People shorted first, came back up and caught that first batch, and maybe now it's going to go. But you see, the daily really wants it to go down, you know. And that wouldn't be fine if we retest 13.9 right there in that pocket. We are very oversold, and we've been up here for a while, you know. So see the 3-day as well, getting overbought. I'm sorry, in the daily we're very overbought. On the 3-day as well, we're very. The weekly now, which is sad, but and I thought, the last time the weekly crossed wasn't too well. We usually had a pretty bad retrace. So this may be a big time to short, honestly. One of these not huge drops like this, but something like this. And we went back on the time and we showed you Bitcoin usually, even here, this was 10K down to 8.7. So that's 1,300, about 10%, a little over that. Here's 12.1 down to 10.5, right? So 2,000, that's 1/6, which is a little under 20%, about 18%, something like that, right? Probably like 17%, but yeah, that's 102. Anyway, and then and we've had 1, 2. This will be just our third retrace on our grind up. It would be cool though. It could just defy all odds and bounce off 15K and keep moving. I'm not saying it can't, but if we played the odds that we should play, which is how I trade, and I just go by how it looks, Bitcoin needs to retrace. Sad to say. 4-hour looked good though. I was going on the 4-hour thinking that we would still get a slight pump on the 4-hour, because 4-hour looks like it wants to reset. Possible hidden bullish divergence too. Swing low here, down to swing low. This is swing up to swing up. So I don't know. It's actually kind of played out already, I guess you could say. So, and that was it. So yeah, no divergence at the moment. If we go back to the 1 minute, do we see bullish divergence? Then we kind of see that exaggerated bullish divergence where price is flat, but the RSI is going up. So right now the 1 minute tells me that the carnage is over and this price wants to move. Might have found a little temp bottom here. You can make a leverage scalp on this right now at 15.90. Looks like you'll get at least up to 15.286 possibly. If not, you'll get to the moving average at 15.191. Or they may meet at like 15.15. Something in that area. Pretty close. So let me try to jump on over to the chat here and see what's going on. Hadouken, there was bullish divergence yesterday on DXY. I posted it in the Telegram. DXY dumping bullish divergence in 1 minute. What up, lifers? Lifers, good morning. What up, Dehan? We hear you and see you. Excellent. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So now I'm trying to see, okay, well, what's going on with altcoins and when is it time to load up? The coin I'm really looking at are Band and Atom. I like to play these coins the most. They're my favorite, honestly. They get the most action. They perform the best. Like when and if happens to seem the most. Whenever I make a when and if scenario for these two coins, they happen to play out the most for me. Like basically, if Bitcoin, goes sideways, altcoins pump. Like it almost, most altcoins pump, but these ones just like they hit the targets for me and they do what they do every single time. So I've been looking at them closely, and now I'm wondering, okay, when is a good time to get in into both of these. Now here's a good entry. Obviously, this is a nice entry for Atom at the moment. All depends on Bitcoin too. We know it's the USDT pair, so it depends on what Bitcoin is going to do. But that's a good temporary entry right there off the bottom. If things were bullish on other time frames, that would be a nice place to begin. So I saw an Adam and Eve double bottom, and now we have like maybe the handle. I don't know how this works. Bit of a strange pattern now. We have an uptrend confirmed, right? And we had a downtrend that was caught, but now we're kind of back in the pattern again, so I have to extend it because we're down in here. Likely to pop again though. I mean, look, bottom, and these are textbook Adam and Eve double bottoms. Usually render you 40%. That's kind of telling me, huh? Maybe Bitcoin will go sideways, or maybe it will go down a little bit and then go sideways. All depends, but we really could be a nice buy here. The 4-hour looks pretty tempting. Right now it's curving down. Wait for it to curve up. Just watch that price. We'll see what the 1-hour looks like. So the 1 hour is so much clearer, and see how much more it gives you. Before you just saw 2 bars standing there, right? Now you have 4 bars in each bar, giving you a way better story. So the 1 hour is like, it's just I think it's an amazing tool, right? You can see, look at this bull flag breakout, double top, bearish divergence. That's higher. That really isn't much of a move. And even if you took it from here to here, that's a slant down. That's a slant up. That's your high right there. Take your money, and you would have sold around 15, 16, anywhere above $5 really. And that would be how the divergence plays out for you. If you're new to the channel, if you're still learning, just pull your lines right there to there. Basically, we go in on divergence, we go out on divergence. We go in on bullish, we go out on bearish. It becomes part of the checklist, and we look for it and make sure it's somewhere in there. Now we see an Adam and Eve double bottom on Adam. Interesting, an Adam and Eve double bottom on Adam. Interesting. We're coming right back to that trend line right here. So honestly, it's kind of a do or die moment for Adam. You put your buy in order right here at 471 with a very tiny stop loss. Very tiny, like 3% at the most. If you have it, maybe right here below 4.5% stop loss. Very little. And you try to take a little nibble here, because this trend line could hold 469 area, and if it doesn't, then that's it. So now what we can do is we open up to the 1 minute and we stare at this trend line as with a microscope. This is how I trade, and honestly, I see the bullish divergence right here, right? And it's really hot too. And what I mean by hot is like, wow, that angle is high, right? That angle is jumpy, and this price is going down though. Let's see. So what we do now is like this is live catching bullish divergence, trying to live catch it. Because it could extend, right? And maybe we come down here, it wouldn't be. So what you do is you leave your line and you just kind of watch it. Now you have a couple minutes to test the bottom of this. See if this is, and this is the trend line here. If it holds the trend line, then it's an indication that it doesn't want to go lower. And the 1 minute will always go a little lower than how you see in other time frames, because when you put your lines on the 1 hour, you're not as precise as if you would put a line there. And see, now that we wicked in, you would buy into this wick, waiting for another candle, right? So like I'll do like an example of this buy here. So again, very small positions in a time like this. More than likely, this is probably not going to go our way. But what we're going to do is try to just test the trend line here and see if it's gonna work in our favor. So put a buy in for Adam. This position will be extremely small, like $500, and we'll see. And maybe we won't buy. Now if we see that we have a deconfirmed downtrend here, a confirmed downtrend, I mean, a deconfirmed, like we're not popping off the bottom of the trend line. What I mean, we're unconfirmed on the bounce. So we wait and we watch. And see Adam at 469. And this is kind of going to tell you a story of almost all the other altcoins in a way. So if you're watching this and you have another altcoin, it's kind of going to follow this a little bit, you know? So there we got wicked up again. We're seeing the buy pressure, right? And we're seeing we do have the bullish divergence now. The blue line is looping. How much lower can we go? We're coiling up and getting less momentum here on the red action. So like 469, that would be the aggressive buy. 4688 on the ask, or 4691. And you set your take profit. And again, remember we said like 4%. That's it on 500. 10% is 50. So we're gonna risk less than $20 on the trade, right? Now the ask should move up pretty high on us if everything is going the way it should go. We should be bouncing off the trend line, and we are. You see the buy signals there. So then we try to get into this trade before it runs away from us. Went in for 1160. We're risking $50. And then what happens is that like it tries to run away from you because it should be bouncing off the trend line. See what it did? See how you can buy off the bullish divergence there? And then if you were using leverage here, see if you can move my limit order. Sometimes this cancels me out too. And we'll see where it goes now. 470. But that's how you try to get into local bottoms, honestly. That's kind of textbook for me how I trade. And now I go back to like maybe the 15-minute or the 30-minute. And I look back at the larger pattern and I'm like, okay, well, it's bouncing. It could be in this pattern too, you know, something like this now when I look at it even bigger. And that's fine as well. It gives it more room to run up, technically. So it is. It's in this larger bull flag. And it's testing the trend line right there. 4 hour looks like it wants to curl for us as well. So to me, it's in a good place. You know, 1 hour looks like also we're about to have some pink. Like we're getting squeezed as well. The price is getting squeezed, you can see. Now we get into the moving averages to check the health, right? 15-minute even looks like we're going to have a move, right? Looks like the 21's about to curve up. They're looking really healthy on the 15-minute. The 5-minute looks like the 21 maybe want to curve above eventually. And the same thing going on here. We finally have the MACD cross. All right, we'll see if we get rejected. We're going to bounce off the 1. And again, this all depends on Bitcoin. So very, very small position, very tight stop loss, only willing to risk very small amount between, you know, anyone in my, you know, $10 and $50 at the very most and the very least. But there you can clearly see we have the confirmed divergence, and that's where you want to get in. And that's what we practice all the time. It was good to see it live there one more time, right? And to do it so calmly, because I'm not trying to trade. Like, I didn't even want to make this trade in front of you guys. I didn't know we were going to see this when I opened my computer exactly like that. I didn't have it planned at all. So I just make a trade that I think is right. And now if we can stay above, you know, the 21-day moving average, which normally you would say no, but usually that's when we begin to get above it, is when we have the bullish divergence with the bottom of the trend line, and then with the MACD cross. And we kind of use these three things for the local entry of a larger pattern that looks good to us, right? We may get stopped out. It may not work in our favor. We'll see. But nothing's perfect, right? But I mean, this Adam and Eve double bottom, support here at this area right here as well. You know, bouncing off here at 450, ranging all the way up to 496, coming back down. I feel like this is a sweet little pocket for it. Nice little spot. And yeah. So back into Atom, and we'll see how that goes. We need Bitcoin just to go sideways, honestly. We don't need it to pump. We just need it to hang out at 15,100, 15,000 area, which I think it's doing now. We look at the 4 hour, it looks like it just wants to go sideways with less momentum and eventually have a bullish cross. So the 4 hour is telling us, before the daily wants to roll on us completely, and before the weekly wants to roll on us as well, we still have some movement on the weekly actually. So the daily could go down and up again before the weekly rolls, just like the 4 hour can go down and up before the daily goes. 8 hour looks like it's down, but how much? Looks like the momentum here, I feel like it's forming a bull pennant. Some would say double top, but when you have a double top, you usually have confirmed bullish divergence, and usually this top is a little higher than that top. We could be forming a downtrend, and I'll listen to that. It's possible, but we could also just be forming another pennant, just like this. So that's why I draw these pennants. I'll leave it here now, and we'll see what happens to Bitcoin. We'll check on this in 12 to 16 hours, and we'll see what the pennant looks like. And I actually love that. It's one of my favorite things to do is to like draw a pennant and see how the price fills the pennant. Emilian, what do you expect for Bitcoin in the next couple days? Catching the quick Bitcoin 15-minute bullish divergence. Yeah, I'm very inexperienced in trading. Should I look to sell Bitcoin now? Tyler Spencer. I don't want to tell people exactly what to do with your funds, honestly, and hold on, let's the Dow is still up pretty big too. Let's let me see what these questions are here. What do you expect for Bitcoin in the next couple of days? Well, I showed you what I think is going to happen to Bitcoin. It's I hope it ranges right here for the next 16 hours between this low of 14.9. Maybe it'll wick down a couple times. You'll see it maybe low, hit this green line, 14.766. Kind of like this wicked, or kind of like, see how this one wicked down on the trend line? And it wicked all the way down to like 14.3. But it'll only do that like quickly. Like it'll happen in a pretty fast period, in my opinion. I see it rolling over a little more red. So I feel like it comes back down to this trend line here at 14.8. Let's zoom in and see really where we're at. Could even use the 4 hour, which is better, and the 1 hour, which is even better. So the 1 hour already showing you, and these wicks are powerful. Let me show you how what I'm talking about. Because wherever we see a wick, like even a little wick, see this little wick? That started a massive move. Here we have another wick, and that started, this propelled this up. And here we have a really large wick, right? And that went up here. And here we wicked, especially near the bottom of the trend line with a fallout, and that brought us up. And now we have our wick here again, which tells me we're going to go up, So ever so simply. Basically, I just do what the chart says and pretty much makes sense to me. So if that will go up, and if we can get Bitcoin to get back up here to 15,400 right off the bottom of this trend line, right, which looks like it's going to in the 1 hour. We got some pink. This will roll over. 4 hour also says, you know what, we're done. We've had a lot of red. It likes to go red, green, red, green. We should have some more pink and get out of this, right? So that's bullish for USDT pairs. So Atom should be going up from our buy that that I just presented to you guys here off of the 1 minute chart, which is done really well. And like you can see now how our stop loss was here down at 4%, right? So like it's way down here somewhere, like, and it really doesn't even need to be. But if this was a $10,000 scalp, which I've done and I've shown you guys live as well, it would be the same concept, and that would have been a nice buyout. You'd already be up $100, and then you could slide your stop loss into break even, and that's how you make $100 in like 4 minutes. So it's for people who want to make $100 a day. If you have $10,000 to $12,000, that's exactly how you do it. You draw a pattern on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. Okay, So let me take you through exactly how we did this. Because that's how, and we could get out of that trade for $100. You know, we didn't do that today, but hypothetically, and I've done it on the channel many times. You can ask everyone if you join my Telegram. They'll back up everything I teach and what I tell you if you're new to the channel. Tyler too. So if you see this, I basically saw an Adam and Eve double bottom, which renders 40% gains when it fully breaks out of its whatever target that it's trying to get from. It did break out here, but it got a fake out. It came back down. Like to hold support in this region here where it bounced. I found at 450, right? Just a nice, also, it's just psychological support at 450. Came back up. Didn't want to test the top trend line, but tested this area here. You can clearly see, which was 488, 490 region, which we had a little bit of, we had resistance here, we had resistance here, we had resistance 3 times. So we had resistance yet again, and then we came back down and tested the trend line. And the trend line got tested at 467. We came back up, and we just came back down again to test. And at that point, you know we're probably going to come back up and keep coiling into this area. If you're bullish, especially after seeing this Adam and Eve double bottom, how strong that is. Also looking at how the MACD is coiling up. So that makes me say, okay, let me look at this trade and see what's going on. All right. Then I look at the 1 hour and I say, oh, wow, we are getting close to the bottom of the trend line. And honestly, you have one time, in my opinion, to trade these, and one time only. Not one time only, I don't mean, but like to make the perfect trade. And that's to always get in at the bottom of the trend line, which is right around here. Because what it does is it really helps solidify that your stop loss will stay poised and hopefully not get hit. You know, and then you have the price. Now look, the price is moving up above the 21-day moving average. And then what you can go do is you can go back in time and backtest this theory. And here's one right here, like that looks very similar to exactly what we're talking about. And it's the last time that we touched the bottom of the trend line. And what we do is we have bullish divergence, and then we had the price break above the 21, and then it's going to come back and retest it always. That's what's going to happen. And then if it breaks down, it may break down a little bit, and it either breaks down and continues, and that's bearish. But if it bounces or breaks above and bounces, and you start getting some bounces like this, then those are those moves back up. And it usually does that back to the top of the trend line. So all I'm doing right now is this exact play. Here to here. They look very similar. Right now, this is where we were there. We're right now right here. We will come back down and retest the 21-day moving average. Very, very, very normal. And we'll see what happens. But that's, you know, this is the best you can do, in my opinion. Using divergences, bottom of the trend line, watching these, and that's how we made a play here into Adam. And that's how we answered the question at the title of the video today that says, you know, why it's decoupling that it's good, and basically trying to see what the title of the video is. What alts to scoop for now, for November gains, right? And I think it's Adam. Honestly, I think Adam is an alt you really want to grab, right? A very, very bullish, in a very bullish pattern. So you can see Bitcoin retrace. You may want to just, this is going to be, I'm not saying today is like these are the perfect prices, honestly. But what I am saying is, you know, you want to start paying attention. And I think Adam, you should definitely have on the list and check out, because it's a good coin. It moves well. And look, it's about to hit 475, which it hadn't hit since we've been playing this, right? So, I don't know, did everyone understand what we did there? Does that make sense? Can you see why we entered and how we entered? Wick theory for buying pressure. Yeah, of course. Can you look at Uni? Yeah, we can. Core daily has limited data, but shows that it wants the cross. This is bullish sign or not enough data to verify. Core wrapped ETH. Yeah. What up, Muser? What's going on, man? Are you at the airport or something? Where are you at already? Or did you leave yet? Are you still here? We just made a buy into Adam right now. And why we did it is on the 1 minute, we were able to catch live, hidden, not live, but not hidden, but live bullish divergence here. And we were able to snipe it right there. Literally, we got right in on this wick action in the 470, 469, 471 area. Boom. seeing how it plays out. But the last one did exactly the same thing and would play out for us, you know. And usually these do represent larger patterns. Like if you look at a lot of other coins, they're in similar patterns. Like BAN at 574. Now if we look at BAN on the 1 minute, it looks even like, look at that. That's an inverted head and shoulders. So here's your shoulder, head, right? Crazy wick, but, and there you go. Just a temporary short-term target for BAN. They're presenting some scalp possibilities here. All the way up here. And that positions us at 2.69%. And BAN back to 591, where it's going to eventually want to come and test that $6 region. And then if it breaks $6, guys, it's off to the races, 610, honestly. And then you know where BAN's going, back into the 12, into the teens. It was 18 bucks, I believe, at its highest point, or 17.98, something crazy. BAN and Link were battling for position, for price action, honestly, at one point, like to see which one was going to hit 20 first. Felt. Let's check over dominance. We haven't taken a look at that. Funny, it looks a little similar. On the 1 minute, it's fallen off. Let's look at it on the larger scale on the patterns that we've been looking at it. And it's been in. So been in a bit of a cup. As you can see, it cupped out on a bit of a high run here. If we look at it, it's also is forming a bit of a pennant, right? It's strange. The 4 hour looks like it wants to rip. So watch dominance. That's something that's got me a little worried for that alt buy on Adam. Well, I only bought one, and I have a very tight stop loss there, 4%. So I'm being very, very tough on myself there. The risk is about 50 bucks for me on that trade. So yeah, we're hoping this gets rejected, but to me right now, right, it does look bullish. Ones that's not bullish is the 21 curving up, but some curving down. But sometimes that does happen as prices coming back down to the bottom of this trend line. You know, it isn't a complete uptrend so far, all the way. But if Bitcoin dumps, right, or goes sideways, hopefully this can go sideways as well. Let's look at the daily. The daily says we're going to cool off, and we got rejected high at 660, and we're just on the way down, forming a new downtrend. So hopefully, just like we have a trend here up, we can have a downtrend down, right? A, B, C, D correction type thing. So where this is A, B. So we'll see. That would be wave 1, wave 2. We'll see if we have that 2 wave. It looks like we will, you know. Will it respect this trend line and bounce off 61%? We'll see, but we're hoping that we can not see a temporary pump. But right now, the 4 hour says that it wants to pump a little bit, and so does the 1 hour. Looks like we can maybe go back to 665, 65.50 before we finally retrace more. But it does want to come back down here even to this bottom of the pattern at 64.50 temporarily too on the 1 hour chart. Unless we could also redraw the pattern. Always good to stay open-minded. We could be on the bottom of the trend line. So we'll see how this pans out. Or we could even be in this channel, which is even better for me, in my opinion. We could have said that was a fallout. It's actually clean. Something like this. And we're in this channel that we're doing this just pumps out of. And we're channeling. And it's going to come all the way back down to 63.80 as Bitcoin kind of goes sideways. And we just need Bitcoin to go sideways from 15,000 back up to 15,144, back to 14,946, back up to 15,4. If it does that, it cools off on the daily, has a cross, has a little bit downward momentum like this as it goes down and sideways possibly. The alts rip. Bitcoin gets down here in the RSI. Everyone kind of says it's dead and that's it. There's no rally. You hear a lot of people say the bull run's over. You'll hear all this nonsense, and then you'll buy all the altcoins in the fear and greed, you know. And let's check out an alternative me. So be ready. This is kind of what's happening, and we will be ready. Alternative.me. Just hit crypto. Wow, 90. Extreme greed. I wonder how it's so high today when Bitcoin's not even pumping that high. Interesting. Extreme greed today. I will tell you something too. Usually that's time to sell. Almost every time it's time to sell Bitcoin. So whenever that's extreme greed, it's never been a good sign for Bitcoin. So we are overbought. Be ready. If we break 15K fast, 14.8, I think we'll definitely go back down to 14.3. If we break 14.3, we'll go to 13.9. And then if we break 13.9, we'll go to 13.4. So, and so on and so forth. And I think 13.4 will be the lowest we can go because that will reset all the oscillators at that point. We'll get to oversold and all the fun stuff. Lend. So Lend went as far as getting all the way to 58, came back down to 52, went as low as 48, but got bought back up. Let's look at Lend on the 1 minute, see what it's doing. So it had the bearish div. You know, a bit of it. I mean, it's super high action, even though this follows it, but you can see it's secret divergence, honestly, secret bullish divergence. But then it did get rejected. Let's see if it's in a larger pattern on the 15-minute. Ooh, wow, Lend just did something crazy, huh? How long did that take, Lend? 4 days to go 118% for Lend. And you just know you gotta buy Lend. Insane. You know how many times I said I should just put my whole portfolio in Lend with no stop loss and walk away. Sounds like a joke, but like I know you should never do that. It's breaking all the rules, but it's like every time on Lend, man. Like had that downtrend. That was even when they changed its name. It's never really been down that much. I can't believe you could have gotten it back down to 25 cents after everything it had done before. Back to 52. So watch Lend, man. Lend could get away from you. There could be decoupling from Bitcoin or everything else around it. Because it is what it is. It's Lend. 4 hour though, gonna have a rollover a bit. Overbought. So I wouldn't touch it right now. 1 hour wants to go sideways a little bit. We'll see what happens. But yeah, wait for that 4 hour to cool off, I would say, before I touch Lend. What we want to see is it to come back down to the 21-day moving average. So they should hit around 47, 48. You could put buy order ins between 49, 47, 48 and see if they catch, see which ones catch for Lend, you know. But yeah, high risk today on altcoins, in my opinion. Maybe the down tokens are kind of the way to go. Cake all the way down to 22. Take a look at Cream, because Cream was, I was very interested in Cream because it was sitting on a 7-day long line. See this line here? 7 days, really. Between 41, 50, back down to 40, 39, 40, and hit 42, 43. Now it's at 43. It just seems like, and it's been there since the 30th of October. So this is getting on like a 9-day binge of it ranging, and the 4 hour looks like it wants pink soon. Yeah, a little bit of hidden bullish divergence here in this area because this was swing up, but that swing down. Didn't seem to react as bad right now. It's only down 6%. So I'm very interested in this. Cream. Remember I said this. Cream, guys. I think there's going to be a big pop on this thing. You can see this rounded bottom. Just, if I've ever seen it. Look at this. Let me draw you the rounded bottom. Get it nice and clean. But this is cream, guys. To me, that could be it right there, you know? So, watching it very closely. Could possibly be a head and shoulders. I know someone might say that, but I just see that as just a heavy pop. And you know what it could be, and then we'll come back down to the trend line here at 38, which is so possible. Still very bullish. You can see this for cream. You could almost say this is the cup and that's the handle as well. Just to be more somewhat creative, I guess. Just always looking at it in as many ways as possible. Being open. I think that's the key to it all, really. Shout out to Muser, man. Best grower in town. So, possible little bit of a cup and handle action too. Right? But don't forget I said cream, man. Keep that on your radar, guys. He's good support at 440 for now. I sold band at 2 in August. That's awesome. Yeah, man, CVC's been out of control. Absolutely out of control. Let's take a look at, what did you want to look at? Let's take a look at Uni. Let's see what Uni's doing. I think Uni's a great long-term hold, you know, to accumulate little by little. When I don't mean hold it through the whole bad times and good times, but to accumulate it when it's low, right? And to grab it, nibble it. There was a nice buy, right? Obviously 175. Now let's look at Uni, pretty much flagging, holding support here. Got rejected twice by the 200-day moving average. That's going to be the big daddy for most coins. Looking for it to come back down to the pattern, possibly a little down below 21-day moving average. Or it could be making a more of a pennant like this, like the second lower high. Something like this. Look for it to bounce, or it did already bounce. Pulling up. Looking pretty bullish to me, actually, now on the 4-hour. Very bullish. This is crossing. Look at the 50, really wants it. If we go back to the 1 hour, we might even have a golden cross, which we actually do right here. So we had the 50 crossing the 200-day moving average. That's a very bullish sign as it's going sideways. This actually might be a really nice pickup for Uni right here. The 4 hours looking like it's going to have some sideways action in here before it decides to pop. But it is closest to the bottom of the trend line, which is where you would like it. I think 260 is a nice pickup right now for Uni. Nice call on whoever told me to look it up. It's looking good. Very good. Let's look at the target for Uni on that. The rest of support and resistance lines I've already drawn. They're all over the place though. Could start fresh. We do see a bounce, right? We found our bottom. We came up. Let's build the story. In the 1 hour, we're in a pennant, a bull pennant, because we came up into it. And it looks just like a baseball pennant, right? I mean, like you wave at a game. Thing looks amazing. And boom, let's see what the gains will be there on the 1 hour. you wanted to scalp it. Look, 52% to 406 for uni.
Hi.
Don't do that. It's not funny. Come on. Come on. I'm almost done. All right, so we could gap up. Here's your resistance lines. 298, 348, 406. And because it went so fast up here and went down here, there's not a lot of resistance there. So once uni rolls, it'll roll. So honestly, this may be a good pickup for you. The only thing I do see is a bit of a head and shoulder pattern forming. Not completely out of the pink, out of the red yet on the 1 hour, but it's looking bullish. Looking like it wants to coil up into a pattern. So definitely watch uni. What I'm going to do is come here. What I do in stuff like this is I put a line on both sides of the pennant. Either one, so you can even just hit the pennant, but I like to be a little below it. And then I like to hit alerts on those areas. If I'm really interested in the coin, and what will happen is I'll get the breakout, or I'll find that it fell out of the pattern, right? Or I could see a lower place to buy, and I'll look at why. Maybe I change the pennant. You know, sometimes the bottom isn't there, sometimes the bottom's here. It's just still working its way down. And I drew it a little differently, and I see that all the time. So I just have to kind of just keep changing the pattern, working with it. But you know, again, and then using that 1 minute for verification purposes. There you do see that bullish divergence there. A textbook buy in there at 257 could tell you that that was the bounce off the bounce, you know. Interesting. We see it there too, though, when we end up going lower, so it's not ever a guarantee. All it tells you is it's a possible bottom for that time frame. But yeah, bullish. I'm bullish on uni so far, but again, there's an if and then scenario going on. Altcoins are high risk at the moment, in my opinion, because Bitcoin's iffy, right? Let's look at the total market cap. It's very bullish to me. It's in the same flag we just saw there. And this is for the altcoins excluding Bitcoin, which is called Total 2 if you ever want to chart it. It's called Total 2. And we're sitting at $150 billion, right? Which is the bottom of our trend line. We were as high as 159 billion, about 160. But if everything goes right and we break out of the bull flag, which I don't see why we wouldn't, right? I feel like we're kind of past that range where things would start going down out of nowhere. But hey, we could easily come back to resistance and break it at 165, and yeah, hopefully we can break that and get into the 170 billion dollars for these alts, and a bit of a cup and handle as well with a double bottom. So to me, it's pretty bullish. There's our cup, right? Support and resistance, cup and handle, all kind of coming together here. Look at that 1 hour, you know, double bottom played out, hit its target. Interesting. So I'm bullish for these alts. Here's everything with Bitcoin. Kind of broke out of a wedge, retested the wedge, came out again, or maybe we opened the wedge up. Sometimes this is how it plays out. We don't know. Yeah. It comes down, comes up, got rejected. It's gonna come back down here. 390 million. Got pretty bad rejected there because that was a huge take out of the market. We were up as high as just a few hours ago. We were up as high as 450 billion dollars. Now we're down to 428. So you can see $30 million sucked out of the market in the last 4 hours. That's why I kind of think like the carnage is over for a second. It might be a good time to swoop right in. You know, Adam's still sitting at 471 though. Testing the bottom of that pattern one more time. Just like that 1 minute look. And there it is, going to go a little lower. Now it's going sideways, though. We'll see. It may come back down and test the pattern again for a double bottom before it moves its way out. But that's fine. We're very protected by the stop loss. So all should go well. And if it doesn't, we have very little at risk. Here's your double bottom already here. Tiny little bit of bullish divergence right there, but it's there. Swing up, with the swing down. If you don't know what I'm saying, it's right there. I can zoom in on it for you. Highlight it. So you draw these lines and you look for these bottoms. 1 minute to confirm. Good entries of 563. Going lower now though. We'll see what's happening. It looks like the market cap's getting hit pretty hard. Bitcoin may be dropping as well. So Bitcoin hitting that 490.70 region. 4.9. It's okay so far. Let's see. Seems to be forming a double bottom. See that? In the 5 minute, there's a double bottom. Oversold region. Inverted head and shoulders there. 30 minute. A little more pain on the 1 hour. 4 hours still got some more pain to go too as well before it curves up. Look at that though, fought right back into the 15K region. It's really ranging. It's really ranging. Quite volatile. Monday morning will be volatile after that weekly candle close. Check out that weekly candle close too. That was impressive. Ended up staying right above. I believe it closed either at or above 15,500. We had our first red week though. We opened at 575. Oh, we closed at 15,000 though, so we ended up tanking into the close. Oh no, that's this week, right? We closed last week at 15,475. So we didn't close at 15. We couldn't close at 15,500. You know, it was kind of a, that kind of is a foreshadowing. You know, had we closed at 15,500, would have been pretty big, right? So also we have a lot of histogram on the weekly. 4 in a row kind of tells us maybe that will be our, we may be starting to have a downtrend. I thought we would have it here. We didn't. It's only a matter of time now when this weekly turns that it will be time, and it will be a couple week period. You know, might even 2 or 4 weeks where Bitcoin will be going back down for a little while, just getting ready for a retrace. So it's not just a break even. This atom. Again, this trade will be quick. I'll be in and out, and then I'll probably be tethering up to see what happens, and either shorting Bitcoin or not. Bitcoin Cash should be somewhat bullish, has a fork coming. We'll see. Maybe it was priced in already. You know, we'll see what happens. Yeah, going pretty good sideways here. A lot of action though. You can see a lot of volatility almost everywhere. BLZ was up pretty big. I'm happy I sold it. I missed a little bit of the top there. It did go higher in this little spot. Ended up hitting what, like 7.3. I sold it around 6.9. But I got it at 6.2 at the bottom of the pattern here, and I sold at the top of the pattern. I did what I wanted to do, and I made money on this move, and that's all that matters. It's kind of the plan, right? So just buy at the bottom of the pattern, sell at the top. It's all you can do, and if you get the breakout, you get the breakout, and then you get more. So dominance. People might be running into Bitcoin too. Who knows? When the alts are getting hit, it's going to make people sell into Bitcoin. So that might hold Bitcoin up temporarily, but then it may keep going down, you know? Like just make like temporary holds. Looking pretty bearish now in the 1 minute, right? Starting to form kind of a downtrend. But you do see slight bullish divergence there. This is very high up. This is a little flatter. Battling at 15K right now. Meanwhile, the Dow was up huge, but also doing the same thing. So the Dow started the day up 29,900, and now it's already down, what, 500 points? Yeah, so it gapped up from the weekend. Gapped up from the weekend somewhere right here, 29. 939, and now it's down 508 points. So seems like Bitcoin just now back and coupled with the Dow. But the only thing is Bitcoin didn't get the pump the Dow got. Like Dow went up thousands of points. The Bitcoin would have went up to 16K or something and then retraced. And we didn't get that. Look at DOT all the way back down to that low again. 420, 425. Might be a good time to get some DOT again. That $4 region, I'm telling you, is really a magnet for DOT. Could be a possible retest too if we bring this down. Something like this. Retesting this top of this trend line, which would be healthy. So see if it comes back into the pattern, draw this for yourself, and if it does, then maybe make an entry down here. It should get back to 390, but if it doesn't, then that might be a nice bottom here, like 424, maybe a little wick into the pattern, and that's it. So actually would be like 420, 418 possibly. It's the healthiest swooping you can get, I think, for DOT, unless it goes all the way back down to 390. You can get maybe the wick down here to 375. So those are the two scenarios for DOT, in my opinion. And those are the best things you can do, unless it just shoots up out of nowhere, which that's the third ABC game theory. That's C, and I don't think that's going to happen. It's probably not likely, but it's possible, so we have to enter it into game theory. So every time I look at something, there's three options. I break down which ones are best for me and use those to my advantage, right? Game theory when you're trading. That's why I use game theory all the time. LTO, I really like LTO. I bring it up a lot on the channel because no one really talks about it, and it's a sleeper coin. And I saw every time we were in somewhat of a bull market, it outperformed a lot of other coins, and seemed to be forming somewhat of a pennant, getting pushed up by the 50-day moving average. We'll see what happens. Another cool thing on the 1 hour is just look at the 50. You look at the 50-day moving average on the 1 hour with the 200 EMA and the 200 MA. We kind of like flip them back and forth and get a look at them together. A lot of times the price will break. See, when it breaks above the 50, it'll bounce out the 50 and keep flying. Especially if it's very bullish like this. So we'll see. This is now touching the 50 as well on that 1 hour. In a pennant. See price already kind of starting to have a bit of a reaction to that. We'll see what happens. So LTO at 7. This link done, link at 1227. So everything's kind of in a pennant, coiling, or like these fake breakouts that came back into the pattern, but still looking pretty bullish until they're not, in my opinion, right? And they're all telling you these are the buys here at the bottom of the pennant. So by the system that we trade here, regardless of the noise and what we see, the 4 hour is going sideways with momentum. We have pennants that we're pretty coiled up into. Go to the 1 hour for confirmation. Looks like we're just going to kind of coil to the side before we explode. So with all these pennants break bearish, so we can get into all these trades right now and then just put like 4 to 5% stop losses. So this is kind of a really good time in my opinion. It's uncertain. No one really knows. There's some fear going on. Even though the greed index is high, there's some fear going on. These are also temporary. I'm not saying they're going to be pops, but it's possible they pop up to this 1293 area. They might get the first resistance. Something I'm thinking about. You might want to trade a link up or down token. I mean a link up token. That way you're not really holding the asset because it may not be the bottom yet. You may not want to accumulate. That's what's good about the up tokens. They make you not like get sucked into accumulating. You buy the other ones and you're like, oh, I'll leave half in now because I'm already in link, But the up token, you're just like, no, it's not something you would hang out in. So you get in and out of those. It can be a good thing about them. UTK is another. How's your cake? Crash. Where? What crash? 15-minute also have bullish. Last time has on the 15-minute grew almost 20%. Uni 1 minute inverted. Yeah. 13K by tomorrow. Dollar bouncing now. VIX should also bounce since there is bullish divergence. Core ETH. Oh, wrapped ETH though, right? Wow, down to 7. So core still trending down, right? Let's see it now. So core trending down on the 1 hour, but it's forming somewhat of a double bottom, right? I got an alert on it on the bottom of the trend line here. So if it comes back down, I'm gonna get alerted. And I have an alert up here too if it breaks out. So I have an alert if it breaks out of the pattern. Until then, I'm really just kind of watching it. Let's go to an earlier time frame. It's down to 8 ETH, right? Pretty expensive still. Yeah, it's about what, $3,200 for one core. It's in this mini pennant. Bottom of the trend line, but it could keep going down. It could be like this. They are pulling closer together if it comes back up. I mean, it's gonna have to fall down or fall up. Anything that usually would fall up, it has a bit of an uptrend here in the 15-minute higher lows off of here. And there you can see, our old bullish divergence, kind of if we just made just the wick action, and we looked at really the movement of the price, it's down, but here it's up, right? So it tells you that could have been a temporary bottom there at 7.3. It came up, now we're forming a new wedge, and we have a whole new line, whole new trend line. So yeah, core wrapped ETH looking pretty good in my opinion. Should get all the way back up to here at least, 925. Maybe it could come back all the way back down at 648, or it'll break out. But right now I feel like it should get back up to 9, if anything. But there's no guarantees, but that's what I see for it. MACD though on the 4 hour wants to cross bearish, right? So that's another thing. So it could come back down to this trend line at 675 before it comes back up. I have to see now. I drew that pennant, and that basically you should draw these lines here, this pennant and this line, and it's either going to break this trend line and come back down, or it's going to break out of the pennant and go up. So watch it. In the next 5, 6, 7 hours, you should be able to get an indication of which way it's going to go based on that prognosis. All right, guys. NIO. Let's see what it's doing. Wow, all the way up to 44, still pumping with the market. Amazing. Well, I mean, now it's forming yet again. Actually, not even a little bit of bearish divvy because like the angle's not so high. I mean, in my opinion, it's gonna come back down. See how high it is from the 21-day moving average? They always have to touch. You just always have to be calm and remember that's all that matters is this 21-day. The 4 hour, it comes back down, comes back down, comes back down. It's always gonna come back down. But remember, it's logarithmic, meaning it moving with the price. So it should go something like this, but eventually, the price meets it. So the price should come back down to 40 at least. There's going to have to be some retracement when it meets that. And once it meets that, then you can it's either going to bounce and keep moving, or it's going to, so you can buy there with a stop loss beneath it and play that game on the 21-day moving average. That it's going to bounce like these, or you could hide below the 50. So you buy in and then hide below the 50-day moving average with a stop loss on this actual chart. So what you'll do is you'll wait for them to touch, and when they do, you buy in, right? When the price touches the white line, my white line, or your 21-day moving average, You buy in there. Again, not financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor. Read the disclaimer. But you would buy right in there and then raise your stop so like it maybe falls below the 50, if the 50 is somewhere right in here, 10%, something like that. An idea, an IO. Yeah, it's getting sold off a little bit now. Still bullish though. Look at all the moving averages in a line. We had a golden cross back here. Very bullish signs. The dailies look like it's so overbought though, and it needs to come down. So you tell me, I wouldn't hold an asset after that. Look at how many times, but I feel like this is the top for today, especially with this pump with the market. I feel like that's the top. But I would be selling it today and be looking for a buyback at least at $40. At least, at the very least, get 10% of my money back. Tesla's still moving independent that I have it in here. You could say that it broke out and it broke back in, or you could just say that it's in a tighter pattern where it's just really coiling up. And the more it coils, the more explosive the move. So this move is just extremely explosive. So look for Tesla to explode. I have it targeted here at 700. So looks like it's going to go up another 100% almost, damn near. And it may begin right now on this daily cross that's just happening. So look out for Tesla this week. Might be a nice day to buy it here as it breaks out of the pattern. It's above the 21-day moving average. Beginning to get really bullish, or look for it to bounce back down here. 390 one more time before it blasts off. So it's either going to break out or hit the bottom of this trend line. Again, it's an if-and scenario, but taking a nibble here can't hurt you because you only get down to 390 and it should still pump, in my opinion. Chart looks really prime for Tesla on the daily. 4 hour looks like it may actually want to come back down here. So that's why you look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour tells you, oh, we're rolling over. It is double greening though. Looks like we may get a bounce. Let's look at the MACD. They're pretty far away, so interesting. Pretty bullish signs too for Tesla. Plug Power up to 2063, just doing really good today. Another pump. Looked like I thought it would break out of this wedge. We had our target up here at 24, and it's on its way. It's already at 2069. Interesting. So look for Plug Power to reach its target probably in the coming week. Getting overbought, a little more push up on that 4 hour, and then yeah, I would be taking profit soon on Plug Power all the way from 12, 13, all the way up to 20. Damn near, it's one of our best calls here in the stock market is Plug Power. Someone gave it to me, but I charted it up, and look, 162%, 62% gains out of Plug Power. So we're taking a bit of a hit today with the market, or with the market pumping, which is interesting. I guess the dollar did well, so that's strange, right? But silver taking a hit. The wheat stock still doing really well. Took a little hit, but they were up 35, back down to 32. The wheat stock's doing well. So the Dow now is at 105. Looking red now on the 4 hour, whatever. 1 hour. So I mean, when the Dow opens that high, I feel like it has to be red for the rest of the day. Because it's just like, boom, Now Bitcoin trashing. 14,900. Probably hurting it. Yeah, this is down 13. And that's where I would just like end up going like this. Let's see what's up. And I'm just gonna edit my stop loss on a shifty day like this to like 2%. See that? So the worst comes now is just like a $20. Like I'll just be Scrooge McDuck with my plans here because it's volatile. Are we coming back down here, or is this the trend line? I think it's this, honestly. I'm trying to hold that it's this. Something like that. That looks right to me. Also looks like a head and shoulder, We don't get any lower there. We are battling, though. Soon to be oversold on the 1 hour, which is going to be a good sign. So it is nice to reset that. Oversold in the 4 hour. If we get oversold in the daily, it would be nice. Missed the short though. I wish I had been shorting on Bitcoin now. I should have kept that short open. It was a fake out last night. Might have been a retest. Down 500 points now. Bitcoin going down. Let's look at Atom. Are these alts gonna love it or hate it? That's the question now. Yeah, I see 468. Better entries now. Let's look at that 1 minute where we got in on the bullish divergence. Now we're gonna come back down and get oversold yet again. Again though, had you been playing that with $1,000, you would have made a G. I mean, you would have made $100 real fast. So the scalp in the volatile days maybe is the only way to play these very volatile. We're retesting the bottom of the trend line one more time though, in my opinion. So until we don't, we'd have to break like 470 for it, something really low to kick us out of the trade. We can go to 463 here. Let's see how that looks in the chart. Yeah, so 463 would be really low. To me, that would be definitely not anymore on the bottom of the pattern. So the chance we stay in the trade and it stays healthy. But we'll see. A lot of altcoins they're going to hit now. I'm looking like the down tokens are going to be the way to play it, but we don't know. Let's look at a down token. Let's look at a couple down tokens. We've got Link down here. 1 minute doesn't look good, but how's the 4 hours? The 4 hours oversold and has a cross coming with a double at the bottom. So Link down looking really nice, right, on the 4 hour. Dot down not looking as nice as Link down, as you can clearly see. ETH down not looking as nice either. XDZ down not looking that great, but wow. So Link down looks like it might have more to come. So Bitcoin now at 4,860. Wow, we're watching the drop as we speak today. Continuing going down. Well, there's the fall. We're seeing larger bullish divergence right now, though, if this can hold, which is actually a really good sign. That could be the bottom for Bitcoin here. Still holding the bottom of that trend line. Could still be time to load up on alts, honestly. Let's stay really calm and just watch this. If this holds, this will be a larger forming bullish diversion area with a double bottom area basically in the bottom of the trend line. Remember, we're just at the bottom of a trend line right here, guys. Not really a huge deal, right? We're in a great range now, you know? It could be range. Now, you remember old ranges were 14,400 to 14,800. We'd be like, oh, we're in a range. You have to remember, as we get big, ranges will become $1,000, $2,000. It will range from 20. You know, Bitcoin's going to do what it always did. But the things are going to look larger and bigger to you and scarier because it's going to be more money swinging around. But it's going to be the same percentages that it always did. You know, so don't be scared. Just keep it calm. Carry on, as we always say. Selling at 15.9 though, I mean, classic. Can't hurt yourself, right? Makes me respect myself at 15,273 now better. You know, I'm like, all right, where's the perfect bottom? We don't know. We'll try to find it. To me, this is pretty close. This is that, you know, this is bullish divergence here at 14.8, which is very interesting. How's BNB down looking? Not too good at all. See, about to come down. So they're not all going to go the same way. Link down looks the best for whatever reason, but it already had some green on the 4 hour. I was looking at it. It hits 14.7 though. We're definitely in for some pain. So almost can't hurt to open a Bitcoin short at this point and just let it rip and see if it works, you know? So we go to BTC down. I have a feeling Bitcoin might go down pretty bad if it hits 14.7. So it's either going to hold the support or it's not. It's like a big big story here for Bitcoin. Doesn't usually move more than 4 or 5% a day though. Could have been it for the day. Be nice to see it range and let the altcoins play. That's like the idea here, right? Lose some dominance as well. Let's see, we probably lost a little dominance. Yeah, 64.87. Yeah, see? It's going to keep falling, man. Could fall pretty bad. Bitcoin down's up pretty big already. Look at that thing pumping. 4 hour leg did that double move, or might just want to rip. Has a double bottom coming out of a falling wedge. You know, to me that's bullish. It's always tight on my stop losses. On my gains, you know. Hit that limit sell. And we're going to short Bitcoin there. That's what we're going to do for the day. I think it's the best bet. Better probability on the charts, in my opinion. As it pumps again. But we'll see. These could be fake outs. Or it could be the bottom of the trend line. It could be a good time to buy alts. You'll see. That's why it's tight stops on either way. And we're in an alt and we're in a Bitcoin down. We're basically playing both positions either way with tight stops. So either one gets kicked out, we're going to go up. And we're kind of battling it. We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully Bitcoin goes down and sideways and the alt goes up anyway. That's the idea, right? Of this alt trade here. And Adam looking good now, getting green on the 4 hour. Hope that turns green again. Now it's bouncing off the bottom of the trend line. So Adam is the trade of the day. I like it here at 470, 469, anywhere in that region. If you can get it in here, 471 even. Calling that as my trade of the day, as I made it live on the channel. And then we shorted Bitcoin as well. See what happens with that. Struggling. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Let me see what's there left. Is there any advantage to using down leverage tokens as opposed to just shorting in the futures? No, shorting is probably better in the futures. It's just I'm a rookie at doing the leverage tokens, so I use them. Yeah, so if you're new at it, it's good to use the down leverage tokens. See y'all on the telly. All right, bro. Monafro, do you ever do Renko candles? Never heard of that. DXY shooting up. Sorry guys if I missed it. I can't get into singlistic pair. I gotta run, guys. I just posted a chart in IDEX of creating the weekly. Yeah. Alright guys, have a wonderful day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And remember, if you came to my channel, then you're already doing the right thing. I'll see you in Telegram as much as I can. I'm just busy the last few days. Alright guys, thank you so much. Peace.